you to have that.
Yeah. Oh. I'll make an opening statement. There goes our humility, right? We bring the trophy with us. So,
Isaiah has none of that.
I'm so thankful that these guys, it's a good thing to enjoy a moment like this. If you can't enjoy this, being with this group of guys and seeing their heart, and we weren't perfect, but we battled. And, you know, win the regular season and win this means a lot. And but we know that it comes from the hard work of a lot of people around us. So again, just very thankful and just to see some of the plays made. I think when the big guy missed a shot from North Carolina, I said, well, maybe this is a sign here. He had a layup and missed it, and you need some of those. But both teams laid it out there. 4 games and 4 nights for them, 3 for us in a row. So as I said, very thankful, and I usually don't give an opening statement, but I figure after this we can give one.
Questions, again, raise your hand. Let's get the mics to you. Questions for Coach or the players. First one, middle of the room.
Yeah, for Kyle, Gene Wong with the Washington Post. Kyle, did you speak a little bit to the ball security? You guys had only 4 turnovers for the entire game.
Yeah, that's something we work on every single day. You know, as soon as I got on grounds, that's something that Coach preached, and you know, it's always a good feeling when what is normal for us we do.
Back row, middle.
Tom Marion with AP Radio. This is for each of the players. What does it mean to you to win the ACC championship, and particularly in the context of the whole season?
Devon?
It's special. I mean, I think it speaks to this group and how tough we are. We've been battling all season, so to be able to grab this I think it's a special moment for us.
Isaiah?
Like Devon said, it's special, but it means a lot because we do it with guys that we love. This is a family inside of here, so that adds a little bit on extra to it.
Wow. You know what they say pretty much.
Right here in the middle of the room.
Hey, Isaiah, Luke May had 15 in the first half. You guys held him to 5 in the second. Was there a kind of a focus on him to prevent him from getting open looks in the second half?
I don't think it was that. I think he hit a couple tough shots, but I think we just had to clean it up altogether. There were times that he got loose and I lost him and things like that, transition. So we just tried to clean that up and it ended up working out for us.
Second row, right in front of us.
For the players, what did it mean to you guys to have some of your former players, even the NBA guys, back here pulling for you and congratulating you after the game?
Devon?
It's great because, I mean, some of those guys have been in this spot. So to have those guys here to support us is great, just to see them, cheer us on.
Kyle?
You know, even someone who didn't play with any of those guys, it was it's very clear that it's still a family, and they treat me and other guys who didn't play with them as such. So it's, a good feeling to get a win for people who started this.
Isaiah?
Yeah.
Third one's a charm.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up.
Next question. To our right.
I'm sorry. George Willis, New York Post. What does this mean for your city? It's been through some tough times. What does this championship mean to the city?
Means a lot. On the back of our jerseys, we have a thing. It's hashtag Who's Together, and I think a basketball team embodies unity and diversity in a way that's special. Not uniformity, unity and diversity, and I think it's the greatest example. And like they said, there's love here. There's family. There's issues we got, but it's a beautiful thing. It's funny. I quoted a Psalm 133 before the game. I said it's a good, and what it says is it's a good and precious thing when brothers dwell together in unity. It's like a fine oil poured upon your head. That's what I said to him before, and that's what I said after, because it's unity, and that's what I think sets this team apart. They're so unified, they're so unselfish. So I don't mean to give a long answer, but I think it's an important answer, and I think it's a blessing to be a part of this.
Second row, right in front of us.
Tony, tomorrow there's a lot of thought that you guys are going to be named the #1 overall seed. Have you thought at all about the path that you guys want to take?
What do you mean? Do we get a choice on that? I didn't know that. Don't they put you? I don't know. Don't they put you where you go if you're? I don't. Oh, I'm not. I don't. Yeah, I haven't really thought about it. I mean, obviously, I think we want to go to the John Paul Jones Arena and play in Charlottesville. How's that sound?
Oh, me.
Yeah, let's do that.
Back left.
Nicole Auerbach, The Athletic. Tony, some coaches measure programs by Final Fours or different benchmarks. What do you use to measure the program and getting it to where you feel good about?
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm so thankful for these guys. To win a regular season ACC, that's the long haul. That's big. This is tough, okay? Of course, to advance, we went to an Elite Eight, almost got to a Final Four, but the NCAA tournament, you want to do as well as you can in that. Those are the tangible things everybody judges you on, but I heard our former football coach said, ask me 20 years from now if we had a successful program, and I'll tell you. And it'll be in what's going on here. This is unique, what I'm seeing. And it's a joy that I haven't quite experienced as a coach. I've been experienced a lot of good things with good people, but there's a lot of good stuff going both ways. But we got to be ready to go when it comes to that. Of course, we want to be as good as we can. But we know it's like every coach says, there's so much parity in this tournament. You get as healthy as you can, as ready as you can. And we said, don't overcomplicate it. Improve, prepare well, play to win. And that's what we got to do when we step up. And whoever it is or wherever it is, I don't know if we have a choice on that or not, but come.
Reminder, the Virginia locker room's open for another 12 minutes. Next question, second row.
Isaiah, obviously you hit 2 big free throws at the end. Talk about the calmness that you were if you were feeling calmness at the time, and also what did you think of DeAndre's free throws down the stretch?
I was just talking to myself like I do every time when I shoot free throws, and they went in, so that was cool. But, yeah, I'm happy for Dre because his wrists are hurting a little bit, so for him to go up there and make most of those is really, really special. And he's like us, he's a first year, so that, you know what I'm saying, that's pretty cool.
All right.
Hey, it's Roger Rubin from New York Newsday. It's a question for the players, a couple of you, if you could. You know, the North Carolina players, they sort of describe, even though it's a tight game, it feels like even though it's a 2-possession game, it feels like more when they play against you. What do you guys think about the fact that your opponents see narrow margins as bigger because they're going against you guys?
I mean, I think that speaks to our defense and how we stand and get back and build a wall. I mean, first that was key for us, with this team, especially them flying up and down the court. But I think we pretty much thrive on defensive stops, so that gives us energy and it gives us momentum.
Before the game, Coach writes on the board, backpack and rebound. So I like to say, put your backpack on and rebound. And when we do those 3 things, not give up transition points and in the pack and rebound, we can feel the energy going our way when we are at our best defensively.
Back of the room in front of me.
Coach, Mark Tracy from the New York Times are here. You addressed a bit the whole, the long haul versus the tournament, and the tournament being crazy and all the parity. I guess my question is, obviously, the same game you play, whether it's, November or March, it's same sport, same rules, but is there something about play this time of year that kind of changes the dynamics and changes the way you want your team to play?
I mean, I think it becomes a possession game. It tightens up. I think defense is really important. Maturity is important. Just being sound. I look at this stat, and I don't know how accurate this is, but they had 3 points off turnovers, 12 second chance points, but 2 fast break points. Those are some keys, and we always talk about that. But, yeah, you got to take care of the ball. You got to, rebound well, and I think to advance in the tournament, and of course you've got to not allow people to score, and then guys have to make plays and play with the intangibles, and this team's all about the intangibles. So we've been fortunate enough they showed it, and they did it over the long haul in the conference, and then it gets tested in this, and of course it gets tested next time out.
Middle of the room in front of us.
Hey, Devon, after ACC regular season and tournament championship and school record for wins in a season, what do you do, if anything, to kind of refocus for the NCAA tournament coming up?
I mean, I think we still have some room to improve. We'll go back and find out what mistakes we made during this during this tournament and grow from it.
Sure, right.
Coach David Glenn from the David Glenn Show on ACCSports.com. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know you're not about individual accolades, but I wanted to let you know and get your reflection on it. There are only 12 men who have won, 12 head coaches who have won more than one of these. So you're on a list with Mike Krzyzewski, Roy Williams, Dean Smith, Jim Valvano, et cetera. What do you think about as the son of a coach yourself when you see your name on a list like that?
Yeah, to me, the celebration and the joy comes in that 40 minutes or whatever it is of play. And then honestly, stepping back and watching them enjoy the celebration, that's the joy. Those things, it's an honor. And I'm thankful because I've had good players. It's good, but I love the game, and I know those things, they fade. Again, 20 years, ask me what kind of relationship we have, what they're doing. That's the stuff that'll last. I know that.
Middle of the room.
Nathan Brown, Virginia Pilot. Coach, Coach Roy Williams mentioned in the press conference before, he's been to 9 Final Fours, only I think won 2 of these conference championships. What do you feel like winning or not winning a conference championship does for a team heading into the bigger tournament?
You want to play your best basketball at the end of the year. As I said, I think they're both significant, a regular season and this. Where I grew up, and that's just kind of how it was that long haul. But I think you want to play high-level basketball as you head into the end of the year, and you have to do that to be successful here. And again, we'll get our rest and hopefully be ready to go at the highest level that we can play at.
Back left.
Ralph Russo, the Associated Press, and this players or Tony, you have no one and dones on this team, and that's not to say you don't have talented players, but do you see yourself as a team that really needs to max out, that needs to be especially disciplined, that really has to sort of maximize the finer points and be almost perfect?
I think that we know who we are. I think that's something that we have to do. So we don't have a really big room for a really big margin for error. And like you said, we don't have a lot of we don't have any one and done guys or anything like that. So as older guys, you develop over the years from going to playing like 5 minutes my first year to now, and you grow, growing with Devon and over time like that. So I think that's that's our way. It's not like going to be questioned or changed unless you got any plans, Coach. So, yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, our one and done, I've joked about this, is shot goes up and get a defensive rebound, one and done.
That's about it,
but
maybe.
if someone's good enough, of course, that's there. But I think that's a great answer. I think every team has to max out, but our way is that. And to see their improvement, I think that was a key in this year. Every guy was challenged to, of course, every coach wants them to get stronger in the weight room and go to work on their game. And each guy really went to work on their skill development, their physical improvement, and they all improved. And I think that total improvement lifted this thing up. So they're serious, and they go after it in the off season.
Middle of the room in front of us.
Coach Jamal Murphy, Bill Roden Sports. You mentioned the intangibles, being a big part of your team. What are some of the tangible things that this year's team does better than a lot of your good teams?
When you have guys, our leaders, I'll start with Devon and Isaiah and Jack, who I always say they're almost like they started out as like entry level at a company, and now they've advanced up to executive level. They're so clear in how they have to play. They're so sound. They hold guys accountable, and they're our backbone defensively. They'll get on the young guys if they're not right. I mean, they'll tell them. I mean, you can look at Zay, he'll have a scowl on his face if someone is out of position, and that matters a lot. And Devin will do it too, and they'll bark at him. Jack, I don't know if he does. He just kind of...
He's a consultant.
Yeah, Jack's nicer. That's right, than those guys. But those guys knowing the way, that's huge. Coach-led teams can be good. Player-led teams have a chance to be really good, and that's what we have here.
Any other questions?
We go home.
Okay, guys, thank you.
Thanks.
No, you get the trophy.